Well, hello, BookTube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. This is your host, Peg, and I'm here today to share with you some of my recent Princeton University Press acquisitions. It's been an eventful year. Let's just say that. I'll probably give you guys an update soon. Well, I can tell you right now, we had the hail damage to our cars. I found out today my car was totaled. So my little Ford Focus is being picked up and being ferried off across the River Styx tomorrow. I will have to pay the ferryman. So we're thinking we might go down to a one-car household, which is fine because we both work from home, and it might be Martine's car, it might be totaled as well. So if we're going to have to buy a new car, you might as well split the car payment. My car was already paid off, of course. So, hey guys, but back to the books, right? I thought I'd take a little bit more of a laid-back approach. Trying not to be right up on the screen. All the stress has made me break out, so the further away from the camera I am, the better. Alright guys, so, geez, what do I got here? So, it's a nice mixture of stuff. My friend John David, at his BookTube channel, has been kind of keeping you up to date on all the sales that Princeton has been doing and the books that we've been acquiring through various sales. These I think I acquired through just being a book reviewer. So really pleased to get these and slot these in where I can slot them in to my reading time. Oh gosh, I should tell you today, if I can get this video uploaded today. My loading time has been insane lately. It's taking forever to upload videos. I don't know why. They had another sale, 50% off sale, which I think I did share that news with you guys in my community tab and everything else. I picked up 4 more books, so I was very good. I didn't go crazy. Although one of them sold out before I could nab it. I was going to get 5. It was a book about French intellectuals and Maoism, and I really wanted it. It's called A Wind in the East by Richard Wolin. So I might just have to buy that full price when I want it from Amazon. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. Some of my most recent arrivals. This does not belong here. Okay, I've got 2 books. I got some more books from the University of Nebraska Press as well. This book I'm extremely excited about because I want to read about this man. I love reading biographies about writers and historians. I like learning more about their life, even if it's a memoir or an autobiography, which it looks like it is. And this is this man is an academic on the highest order, and I'm still trying to figure out when I can start reading his Through the Eye of a Needle. But this is Journeys of the Mind, A Life in History by Peter Brown. You see that? Look at this, and it's a big book. So this just came out. Well, I think this is out now. I got it a little early. It comes out June 6th, guys. So keep an eye out for this one. Journeys of the Mind by Peter Brown. Let me give you a little synopsis, shall I? And I'm going to lean back. You don't need my mug right up on you. You know, I don't. The end of the ancient world was long regarded by historians as a time of decadence, decline, and fall. Got this going right. In his career-long engagement with this era, the widely acclaimed and path-breaking historian Peter Brown has shown, however, that the neglected half-millennium now known as late antiquity was in fact crucial to the development of modern Europe and the Middle East. In Journeys of the Mind, Brown recounts his life and work, describing his efforts to recapture the spirit of an age. As he and other scholars opened up the history of the classical world in its last centuries to the wider world of Eurasia and Northern Africa, they discovered previously overlooked areas of religious and cultural creativity, as well as foundational institution building. Respect for diversity and outreach to the non-European world, relatively recent concerns in other fields, have been a matter of course for decades among the leading scholars of late antiquity. Interesting. This is a heavy book. Alright. Documenting both his own intellectual development and the emergence of a new and influential field of study, Brown describes his childhood and education in Ireland, yay, his university and academic training in England, and his extensive travels, particularly in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East. He discusses fruitful interactions with the work of scholars and colleagues that include the British anthropologist Mary Douglas and the French theorist Michel Foucault, and offers fascinating snapshots of such far-flung places as colonial Sudan, mid-century Oxford, and pre-revolutionary Iran. With Journeys of the Mind, Brown offers an essential account of the grand endeavor to reimagine a decisive historical moment. Yeah, so the other book I have by him that I was going to buddy read with John David, and then I just couldn't. Something always seems to come up, but he told me, he's like, it's pretty dense, but I still want to make my way through it. It's called Through the Eye of a Needle, Wealth, the Fall of Rome, and the Making of Christianity in the West, 350 to 550 AD. He also wrote The Rise of Western Christendom, Triumph and Diversity, AD 200 to 1000. Oh, and a myriad others of other titles. But look at this beautiful book, though. And there's our author, as you can see on the cover. Hello. Beautiful book, coming out June 6th. And of course I have to do this. Oh, great smells. Great smells. Love a new book smell. I also love the smell of certain library books. Books that have been on the shelf for a while. They can just smell. It just transports you. Okay, I know. I'm weird. Another big honking book. Are you guys ready for this? This is even bigger than the last one. This is going to be a hard work on my wrists trying to hold this book up. It says already, it says over 250,000 copies sold. Well, okay, so this one just came out actually about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. Came out May 2nd. And this is quite a big work. Holy cow, you guys, yeah, I wasn't kidding. This is over 1,100 pages. Are you ready for this, you history fans, you? Bam! We've got the makers of modern strategy, no, the new makers of modern strategy, from the ancient world to the digital age. Look at this guy. Look at you. You're huge. Edited by Hal Brands. Wow. Big. This came out 2 weeks ago. Okay. Wow. Oh my God, it is massive. It says it's the essential resource on military and political strategy in the making of the modern world. Oh, wow. Nice thin pages. Just short of being like Bible thin. Just short of that. It's got a little bit stronger stock, but we got some great authors in here. I recognize a lot of them. We've got Hugh Strachan, a prominent World War I historian. We've got Walter Russell Mead, and Lawrence Friedman, and I've shown some of his books on this channel before. Yeah, let's see who else we have here. Brendan Sims, who has written biographies on Hitler, I believe, and some other stuff. Margaret Macmillan, and she wrote Paris 1919, which was fantastic. Mark Moyer, and he just came out with a brand new book, the second part of his trilogy on Vietnam War, but he's kind of it's revision, I guess you revisionist history. It's a different take on Vietnam. The first book is called Triumph Forsaken, and I have that one. He just came out with Triumph Regained. I listened to a podcast the other day, and that is his new release in that trilogy. But an interesting take. We got Carter Malkasian, who just wrote a massive study on America in Afghanistan, our war there, on how that was conducted. So a lot of these writers I recognize. So it's a compilation of essays, and I like that. I kind of like that. I like getting different writing styles in a book of this size. So the new makers of modern strategy, I'll give you a quick rundown here. The new makers of modern strategy is the next generation of the definitive work on strategy and the key figures who have shaped the theory and practice of war and statecraft through the centuries. God, so big. That's what she said. We've been watching a lot of The Office lately, sorry. Featuring entirely new entries by a who's who of world-class scholars, this new edition provides global, comparative perspectives on strategic thought from antiquity to today, surveying both classical and current themes of strategy, while devoting greater attention to the Cold War and post-9/11 eras. Whoa! I'm getting a workout. The contributors evaluate the timeless requirements of effective strategy, while tracing the revolutionary changes that challenge the makers of strategy in the contemporary world. Amid intensifying global disorder, the study of strategy and its history has never been more relevant. The new makers of modern strategy draws vital lessons from history's most influential strategists. From Thucydides, but funny how I can say Thucydides but not strategists. Ugh. And Sun Tzu, yeah, to Clausewitz, Napoleon, Churchill, Mao, Ben-Gurion, Andrew Marshall, Xi Jinping, and Qasem Soleimani, who was the Iranian, I believe, the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. I think that's what they're called. We assassinated him. So, geez, yay America! No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Soleimani, but he was bad news. So you gotta do what you gotta do. The new makers of modern strategy, out right now. Woo! Woo! Who knew you'd get a workout on a book channel? All right, next book that I'm excited about. That's a paperback. Thank goodness. This is going to be really easy to show you guys. Do I have paperwork for this one? No. This came out, so this is, I think it's out now. So I don't, sometimes I get the finished copy before the rest of you, but keep your eyes open for it. It's called The Party and the People: Chinese Politics in the 21st Century. So we're kind of, it's a nice follow-on to the makers of modern strategy. I love reading about foreign affairs and international affairs and global, history and politics and different countries. You know the deal. I am all over this stuff. And China's been almost, it's right underneath Russia now in my area of like foreign interest, of places I want to read about and learn more about, politically, culturally, any way you can think of. So, but China's really been rising. Obviously, it should be a concern for all Americans. So I want to know more about The Party and the People. And this is by Bruce J. Dixon. All right, yes, I want to make sure I'm giving the authors. I get so carried away with the book. These are the guys that created it. So Bruce J. Dixon is the professor of political science and international affairs and chair of the Department of Political Science at George Washington University. That's Martine's alma mater. She went to GWU. Oh, okay. So he's written The Dictator's Dilemma, and he's also written Red Capitalists in China. So let me read from the back. So I can't really hold this up right now. But let me read really quickly from the back. How the Chinese Communist Party maintains its power by both repressing and responding to its people. Since 1949, the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, has maintained unrivaled control over the country, persisting even in the face of economic calamity, widespread social upheaval, and violence against its own people. That kind of rhymed. Yet the party does not sustain dominance through repressive tactics alone. It pairs this with surprising responsiveness to the public. Very canny. Bruce Dixon explores how this paradox has helped the CCP endure for decades and how this balance has shifted increasingly toward repression under the rule of President Xi Jinping. He shows how the party's dual approach lies at the core of its practices: repression when dealing with political threats or challenges to its authority, and responsiveness when confronting localized economic or social unrest. Delving into the tenuous binary of repression and responsivity, The Party and the People sheds new light on how the relationship between the Chinese state and its citizens shapes governance. So, that sounds really good. I believe it's out right now. I would go with that. Just because I've got a handy-dandy finished copy in hand. So this next book looks really good. I also don't have a puff sheet for this one, but this is should be out now. A finished hardcover copy. Not as big as the others, thank goodness. This is the Individualists: Radicals, Reactionaries, and the Struggle for the Soul of Libertarianism. Look at that. This is kind of, reminiscent of like the Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged kind of artwork, right? This screams Ayn Rand right here. So yeah, we're talking about like libertarians. This is by Matt Zwolinski and John Tomasi. Okay, not too big. Not a doorstop. So it says here. Ooh, I love the bibliography, guys, already. I'm like, wow, there's some good stuff in here. Libertarianism emerged in the mid-19th century with an unwavering commitment to progressive causes. From women's rights and the fight against slavery to anti-colonialism and Irish emancipation. Today, this movement, founded on the principle of individual liberty, finds itself divided by both progressive and reactionary elements vying to claim it as their own. The Individualists is the untold story of a political doctrine continually reshaped by fierce internal tensions, bold and eccentric personalities, and shifting political circumstances. Matt Zwolinski and John Tomasi trace the history of libertarianism from its origins as a radical progressive ideology in the 1850s to its crisis of identity today. They examine the doctrine's evolution through 6 defining themes: private property, skepticism of authority, free markets, of course, individualism, of course, spontaneous order, never heard of that, and then the 6th one is individual liberty. They show how the movement took a turn toward conservatism during the Cold War, when the dangers of communism at home and abroad came to dominate libertarian thinking. Zwolinski and Tomasi reveal a history that is wider, more diverse, and more contentious than many of us realize. Fabulous. So including index and everything else, it's over 400 pages, but we're going to have some good chapters in here, I think. I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, I'm sure they've got all the libertarians in here. You know, there's a lot of Ayn Rand in here for sure. I'm looking in the index. John Rawls. Yep. So a veritable Murray Rothbard. It's a veritable who's who, like they said, of libertarians. So the Individualists, radicals, reactionaries, and the struggle for the soul of libertarianism, by Matt Zwolinski and John Tomasi. Out right now. Check it out. Kind of continuing along on that theme. I think John David also got the same book. I'm pretty sure he did. I saw it on his channel. I also picked up this. I wanted to take a look at this one. Paperback. And it's out right now. I do know that much. It's Liberalism in Dark Times, The Liberal Ethos in the 20th Century, by Joshua L. Chernis. Paperback. I don't have the pub sheet here, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. So it says, today liberalism, as opposed to libertarianism, liberalism, faces threats from across the political spectrum. While right-wing populists and leftist purists righteously violate liberal norms, theories of liberalism seem to have little to say. In Liberalism in Dark Times, Joshua Chernis issues a rousing defense of the liberal tradition, drawing on a neglected strand of liberal thought. Building on the work of Max Weber, Raymond Aron, Albert Camus, Reinhold Niebuhr, and Isaiah Berlin, Chernis urges us to imagine liberalism not as a set of politics, but as a temperament or disposition. I like that. One marked by openness to complexity, yep. Willingness to acknowledge uncertainty, yes. Tolerance for difference, yes. And resistance to ruthlessness, yes. In the face of rising political fanaticism, he argues for the continuing importance of this liberal ethos, and I do as well. This, I think I will probably agree with much of what he is saying here. This looks really good, guys. This is out right now. If you're interested in into like philosophy, politics, recent history, check this out. Liberalism in Dark Times by Joshua L. Chernis. Now these 2 Princeton books I wanted to include in this video. They're older books. I picked these up. Did I pick these up during the sale? One of the recent sale, not the most recent one, not the 50% off. It might have been a previous sale, and I'm just now getting a chance to show you. That's how behind I am in cataloging my new book acquisitions for you guys. But I picked these up. I bought these. And they look really great. One of them is a new edition. I actually expected this one book I'm about to show you to be bigger. I thought it was a bigger book, just both height and width-wise, also thick-wise. I thought it was going to be a doorstopper, but it's actually quite small and quite readable. I could actually finish it in a month or two, or however long. I read like 8 books at once, so when I say that, it doesn't mean I'm super slow reader. It just means I'm churning through books as fast as I can. This is Crip, a history of the legendary German firm. And I've always wanted to read a history about Crip throughout my different readings on World War I, World War II. I've been interested more about industrial, like manufacturing history. It's interesting. And so I've always, Crip has really been well known, at least back in the time of World War I and II, for their armaments. So I wanted to check this out. And this is by Harold James. But check this out. So it's a smaller, I thought it would be bigger. Like I said, I thought it would be big. And I thought it would be thicker. But it's not. It's not that thick. It's like, it's good. It's good news. So Crip. This is the history of Crip. It says the history of Crip is the history of Germany. Or of modern Germany, I should say. No company symbolized the best and worst of that history more than the famous steel and arms maker. In this book, Harold James tells the story of the Crip family and its industrial empire between the early 19th century and the present, and analyzes its transition from a family business to one owned by a nonprofit foundation. Crip founded a small steel mill in 1811, which established the basis for one of the largest and most important companies in the world by the end of the century. That's amazing, really. It's a feat. Quite the accomplishment. Famously loyal to its highly paid workers, it rejected an exclusive focus on profit, but the company also played a central role in the armament of Nazi Germany, and the firm's head was convicted as a war criminal at Nuremberg. Yet after the war, Crip managed to rebuild itself and become a symbol of Germany once again, this time open, economically successful, and socially responsible. So this is interesting, this part right here. Books on Crip tend to either denounce it as a diabolical enterprise or celebrate its technical ingenuity. In contrast, James presents a balanced account showing that the owners felt ambivalent about the company's military connection, even while becoming more and more entangled in Germany's aggressive politics during the Imperial era and the Third Reich. By placing the story of Crip and its owners in a wide context, James also provides new insights into the political, social, and economic history of modern Germany. Sounds really good. And it's manageable. Manageable size. All right, sticking with Germany, we'll end this video on when I really wanted this. I was like, I think the sale had ended, but I'm buying it anyway. This is Einstein's German World, new edition, with a new preface by the author, and it's by Fritz Stern. Take a look at that, the cover there. Look at that man. He's so cool. Deutschland, Hamburg. What's the life ring? So, I mean, this is not a new release. They've had this, so you can, same with Crip. But yeah, Einstein's German World. So let's take a look at what we can expect from this one. In 1900, Germany was Europe's preeminent power and poised to achieve greatness. Its material strength and strident militaristic ethos apparently balanced by a vital culture and extraordinary scientific achievement. In Einstein's German World, Fritz Stern explores the ambiguous promise of Germany before Hitler, its horrifying decline under Nazi rule, and its remarkable recovery since World War II. Stern gracefully blends history and biography in a sequence of studies of Germany's great scientists and of German-Jewish relations before and during Hitler's regime. Provocative and detailed, Einstein's German World illuminates the issues that have made the country and Europe so important in a tumultuous century of creativity and violence, as well as the challenges and prospects facing Germany today. It doesn't really go into a lot of detail in that description. So let me give you some of the chapter titles, or I could show you. So if you guys want to take a look, see, some of these here. So let me read out some of these. We've got Paul Ehrlich, the founder of chemotherapy. We've got Max Planck and the Trials of His Times. Another chapter is Fritz Haber and Albert Einstein. Another chapter is on Walter Rathenau and the Vision of Modernity. And then the next part 2 is on the Great War and consequent terrors. So that goes into like historians in the Great War, Chaim Weizmann and liberal nationalism, the past distorted, the Goldhagen controversy. You've never heard of that. Chapter 9 sounds really good. Lost Homelands, German-Polish reconciliation. Again, I'm German. My name looks and sounds Polish, but I'm German from what I understand from my family history. But I'm very much, I'm pro-Polish. And, you know, I don't know, I think I might do a DNA test just to really find out. But my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, was born in Germany, and they emigrated when he was an infant. But yeah, my father's family came from Germany, so we've got some history there. You know, one of these days I'm going to do a full-on genealogical, I'm just going to like plunk down some money. I want to trace my roots. As a historian, I should be interested. I think I'm going to try to do that. I'm just going to try to put some money aside and say, let's start digging into the archives and let's see what I can trace back. I'd be interested to see what I find, you know. I'd like to know if I have an ancestor who fought in the Civil War, for instance, you know, or if we, you know, came much later than that. You know, family of immigrants, you know, or a nation of immigrants. My family came from elsewhere, so. Einstein's German World, guys, so that's what I picked up. So, you know, these are very heavy books. I really don't want to do a pyramid again. Creating the thumbnail about killed me. I can tell you that much. Take a look at the thumbnail. I am straight up, it must be 30 pounds in my hand. And I was like balancing it. But you know, we've got some great new books here from Princeton. I've got 4 more coming from their recent 50% off sale, which ends today, May 23rd or May 24th. I don't know. Well, we're going to try to get this video up soon, guys, so you might be able to take advantage of that. Let me know what you think, if any of these titles appeal to you. And thanks again to Princeton University Press for always tempting me with just tons and tons, oodles and oodles of delicious history. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, until next time, come back to the History Shelf soon. We hope to see you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. I don't say that enough, but thank you all for coming along on the journey, and we'll talk soon.